Hi, you're with India Post Live, India's first online news conversation web TV. I'm Ishan Russell, and India Post Live is, of course, a forum for you to come and participate in. So use social media to get in touch with us. Twitter is, of course, there. You can use hashtag India Post Live to your tweets, or you can use our Twitter handle at India Post Live. You can use Facebook to get in touch with us. We have our Facebook page. Go ahead and like it. You can even post a comment or a picture or anything of interest to you over there, or comment upon anything. And in case you also want to comment on our wall, that's our own wall at indiapostlive.com, where you can watch this live right now, or you can watch this as a video on demand later. And there's so many other subjects to also talk about, which are there for your consumption. So go ahead, comment over there. And in case you want to come in and participate, you're most welcome to do so. Use Google Hangout and Skype, and we'll, of course, get you in on the conversation. Today, we are talking about a product that has come to the market, the Samsung Galaxy Tab S. Yes, a bigger version and a smaller version. We have Ankit here with us, and we also have Aditya joining us. So both of them will be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Tab S. Oh, sorry, Abhishek. I'm sorry about that, Abhishek. So, Abhishek, what is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S?
So Samsung Galaxy Tab S has been launched now in India. We have the smaller version of it. This one is the 8.4-inch model. So this time they have actually optimized the tablet to compete with the iPad Air. So they are directly competing with iPad Air in almost all the specifications in terms of how good the display is, how thin it is, how light it is. All these things are actually something which has made the Tab S better. And they have introduced not only in the 8.4-inch format, but they do have it in the 10.5-inch format as well. So you have both of them. Depending on your usage, you can select any one of these two.
All right. Aditya, as far as product reviews are concerned, you really have your pulse on the sentiment amongst the people. So, how's the reception been to the Tab S?
Well, the Tab S has come out at the same sort of price range. That's the first thing we're always going to be looking at when buying a device like this. And spec-wise, it's all pretty much evens. The Tab S comes ahead on stuff, let's say for the common user stuff like the screen resolution and stuff, it's slightly increased, so you get a slightly better picture. But price-wise, it's all the same. So it's going to be down to functionality at the end. They have left out a couple of things from, let's say the iPhone has the fingerprint scanner. This won't be there on the iPad Air. Whereas the Galaxy Tab will actually have that in which you can sync up to your Pay account, so you can make secure transactions using your fingerprint on that thing. So it's got those gimmicky features, and it's got everything. But stat-wise, it's all the same. It's going to be down to what platform you actually enjoy.
All right. So, at the end of the day, the operating systems is perhaps what matters in the devices. And how does this compare to the iPad, its closest competitor?
So I would say when you compare the Tab S with an iPad Air, Tab S are much more freedom tablets.
Yeah.
That means you have a freedom of connectivity. You have a freedom of transferring anything without using any specific software, which you have to use in case of an iPad Air or any other Apple product, for example. So in this case, they have much better connectivity options. You have a micro SD card slot as well on both of these tablets. That means you can expand the storage. So in case you have HD movies on the tablet and you run out of storage, so in that case you can actually insert a micro SD card which could be up to 64 GB or even 128 GB of micro SD card is also supported. You can expand the storage later on. Connectivity is easy. Sharing files is easy. Almost every other thing is actually better for the kind of usage you would like to do. So I would better recommend anyone a Tab S rather than iPad Air. So this time in terms of specifications, it has become also thinner. You can say it is thinner than iPad Air. In terms of weight, it is not much of a difference, only 4 grams of difference it is, but still the Tab S is actually thinner and lighter as well as compared to an iPad Air.
And what about pricing? I mean, what does it cost?
So pricing for the 8.4-inch model which we have, this will cost you approximately 34,000 rupees in the market, 34,000 Indian rupees. And for the Samsung Galaxy Tab S 10.5 model, you will have to pay approximately 44,000 rupees.
All right. And how does that compare to its competitors? Are they
So again, same pricing. So for an iPad Air, you will pay approximately 35,000 rupees in the market, which is close to the one which we have, especially the 8.4-inch model, or I think the one which is near to 8-inch. And same goes for the 10-inch model as well.
And any announcement as far as the operating system is concerned? It's Android, and I don't know.
So it is Android, latest version of Android, which is KitKat 4.4 is coming pre-installed on these devices, you have almost all the kind of connectivity you will need. You have all the new applications which will run. You can install a lot more applications which are now available on Play Store. And same goes for the iPad Air as well. But in terms of the overall connectivity and usage, iPad Air is a much specific tablet just for the media consumption, and it is limited in terms of what you can do with it. But these tablets are actually not limited in terms of what you can do with it.
Because there have been a lot of other products as well in the tablet market. So how does it compare to those? Because those also operate on the Android system, most of them, on the Android operating system.
It all have to be different products because Samsung has different products in different lineup. These are the premium tablets which they have. They do have Samsung Galaxy Tab 4, similarly in the 7-inch model and a 10-inch model as well. But those tablets will be thicker, they will be heavier, they will not have this much of a display, this high resolution display they will not have. They will not have a Super AMOLED display. So they have a premium product lineup.
Super AMOLED display?
So Super AMOLED displays is this one. So for example, this one has a Super AMOLED display, and it is.
In fact, if you can just direct it to the camera, then you can see.
So this one has a Super AMOLED display, and it gives you great viewing angles. In terms of the overall contrast levels in between the differences in between the white and black, you can actually see the difference. The overall color reproduction on this display is much better than an IPS LCD display. So on an iPad Air, you will have an IPS LCD display, which is again good enough in terms of colors. But if you actually compare both of these devices, you will see a major difference when you actually take a look over the high definition photos on both of these devices. So in this case, this tablet will give you a much better color production and much better viewing angles as well. So in case you have a tablet like this and you're playing game, in case you're watching it from this angle, the color will not fade, which might happen with an iPad Air. Although those displays are also good, but these ones are slightly better than them.
All right, so we also have with us Gagandeep. Gagandeep, thanks very much for joining in. How's the reception? I mean, you really keep a tab on social media also as well. So how's the perception amongst, what's been the reviews section like for the Samsung Galaxy Tab S?
Actually, I would like to say something about Samsung Galaxy S, I think 8.4, and the price is 37,000 around, yes. And tell me one thing, they are not giving NFC. The price is 37,000 and they are not giving NFC. So what would you like to say?
Okay, so talking about an iPad,
Okay, Aditya, you want to come in? Yeah, go ahead first.
Jump in there. NFC is a technology, well, at least in India, that we haven't had much use for. So, I mean, as far as consumers over here go, I mean, it's not really a necessity. And they have added other things that make it stand out as opposed to the iPad Air, which has just gone thinner, really. There's handy things like this. You can view 2 apps. My lights just went. You can view 2 apps on the same screen. There's a side sync feature, and you can mirror your phone's display on the tab itself, which is these are far more practical and cool features than NFC, at least with today's practical use in India.
All right, so
I do agree with Aditya in this case, because the slide sync feature is actually something which allows you to use your phone, especially in your own proximity, and you will have the complete phone display on the tablet. So in that way you can actually use the phone without even touching the phone. So that is a very good feature which they have came across, and I do not see this feature as of now on iOS devices. There is a continuity in between these devices, but this thing, if you want to do, you cannot do that as of now.
The mirroring of the phone.
So mirroring of the complete display, so it is not even mirroring, the display on the phone will go blank, and everything will be there on your iPad, on your tab, and then you can use it. You can use your phone, you can make calls, you can do almost anything you want to without even touching your phone.
And how's the reception been to the Tab S? I mean,
so
is it being
Tab S is right now again
product of the year kind of thing? Is it?
I think it is a nice product they have launched with good number of features. Although it comes in the premium segment of tablets, and people as of now still compare these devices with an iPad Air. So the first thing they will say that this one does not have those premium looks. However, you have a perforated backside with the dotted design, which you might have seen on the Samsung Galaxy S5. But again, this is again plastic, and people do consider anything premium which is metal. Either it is aluminum or titanium or whatever it is. So iPad Air in that particular department wins, at least in the look and feel. However, this is actually thinner, lighter than an iPad Air. Still, people will go for that one because that one looks more premium to people because of the metallic looks. They have not adopted the metallic looks as of now, but still I would say these
I think
devices are
Samsung
good.
started to consider it a product differentiator because they really have been sticking to the plastic despite the criticism. But Gagan, any other further questions or comments about the Tab S?
I think the tab is really it's nice. The battery is 4900 mAh and Super AMOLED screen. So I think it is best as compared to iPad and iPad.
All right,
That's it.
Aditya, so you also consider this beating the iPad hands down?
Hands down, it's really more about the ecosystem that you like to work in. What are all your, this is what all the companies are on today is they're trying to get all your devices on the same, on the same network. If you're an iPad, all your iPhones, iPods, and, tabs will be synced up. Here it's the same thing. And now with the addition of smartwatches and Galaxy Gear and stuff like that, if you're a real hardcore techie and stuff, you'd like the option to have all these devices hooked up, and there's better inter-device connectivity when it comes to the Samsung ranges.
All right, so and Samsung is coming out with an entire wide range of devices from the watches to.
So they are doing the same thing which Apple has already done.
Yeah.
Apple has a range of devices on which you can depend. So once you have an iPhone, you will go ahead and buy an iPad. Once you have an iPad, you will go ahead and buy a MacBook Pro or MacBook Air or iMac. So in this way, they will actually take you into the mesh of having all the Apple devices, confining yourself into their own ecosystem. Similar thing Samsung does. Every other brand try to do the same thing.
All right, so then final, gentlemen, final this thing, how would you rate it? I'll start with you, Gagan. How much out of 10 would you rate it and why?
7, because I like the way the style, and it is too thinner, and the battery is good, and processor is good, and overall a Samsung Tab is a good package.
All right, Aditya, what about you?
Rating out of 10, I guess I'd also give it a 7, but actually that's because I haven't given it a test myself. I give it a 7 because 1 point always for doing anything that Apple's doing and doing it better, you get a point from me. And in general, inter-device connectivity. They've got the slide share features and all this. I do find it's going to be more practical and easier to use for more people. And now that it's priced in the same range, if you're going for that, why would you buy a device that is you can't expand the memory, the display? Okay, they're not much of a difference, but it's still better. So it seems to have all the boxes checked in the Samsung corner.
All right, so we'll have to wait for a response from Apple. So it seems about Abhishek, your rating for this Tab S?
I would like to rate Samsung Galaxy Tab S as of now 8, and there is a reason for it because I have experienced both of these devices. I have an iPad at my place. I am an Apple user, a wide product Apple user. I have a lot of Apple products. So comparing with that, the kind of ecosystem Apple has is perfectly right. There is no problem, but it does have connectivity issues, especially for the people who are using a tablet for the first time or those who haven't used an Apple product. They actually will find themselves miserable at times to transfer data. So those things does not happen on these devices, and these devices have become now you can say much easier to compare with an iPad Air.
Right.
Thinner, lighter, good displays, and the overall connectivity is something for which I would like to rate it 8. The only 2 points I'm deducting is because of the looks. Again, it has a plastic back, which I was expecting this time that they will come up with a metal back.
You've been telling this to Samsung for a very long time, and you're
so
really
everyone,
in touch with them.
so
what's their
not only me.
explanation?
So not only me.
So why I mean, they don't take reviews on board? Why?
So maybe they want to make the devices thinner. It might be a technology challenge for them to actually make the device lighter when they make it with metal. So this is something in which Apple excel. So I hope they are working as of now on a device which will be completely metal. It will not be like metal on the edges and then you have plastic at the back, which is something which I don't like. We all have been asking Samsung to come up with a metal phone. They came up with Samsung Galaxy S5, which is again not being received very well. But if they have came up with a phone which is different from what it was before, then it would have actually got a very good response. So these devices are definitely better as compared to the previous tablets. But I would say once they come up with a metallic look tablet in which everything is actually metal, especially the back part of it, I would appreciate it much more.
Alright, so Samsung, Abhishek wants you to make this entire device metal. That is what will give its premium look. Whether that's true or not, or you, the viewer, can of course tell us. Do write into us. Use social media to get in touch with us. Hashtag IndiaPostLive to your tweets, or use our Twitter handle at IndiaPostLive. Or you go to IndiaPostLive.com and view this video and many others. There are also other product reviews. And if you want a product to be reviewed, or if you want to participate in a product review, go ahead and reach out to us and we'll for sure incorporate your views. Thanks very much, Abhishek. Thanks very much, Aditya and Gagan, for coming in. It was a pleasure to have you guys on the show. Well, that's it from us. Of course, we'll be back with another product review very, very soon. Thanks so much for watching.